Welcome everybody to the Three Amigops podcast, where three friends get together each week to talk about the shit that matters. I'm your host Justin, and with me we have Matt.
Fuck you.
That's nice.
Fuck you.
I think you're a nice person too.
Yeah, fuck you. This
Fuck
is the
me.
second time that we've had to record that. No, wait, like the third time that we've had to record this.
Yeah, I think it is the third time.
Yeah, and this is getting annoying now. I just want this to
Introduce
end.
me. I'm sitting here in the dark.
We also have Danny.
Hey, what's up? Also, fuck you, Justin, for we got when Justin says that we this is our third time recording. The first time was like my fault because I had Audacity open, but I didn't have but I clicked it and it took a second. Like I had to click the record button twice, so that only took like 10 seconds. So that was my first fuck up. It was only 10 seconds long. The second time, we got 15 fucking minutes into recording, and Justin's like, guys, we gotta stop recording. My mic is not picking up on Audacity. And then I'm like,
Yeah,
well, we could just keep going. He's like, no, it's not picking up. I'm like, you motherfucker. And then we just, then we...
And then he just
We're
ended
on
the
third try
recording,
right
so
now.
we have to start all over. We did that
Yeah,
for like
well,
a
it's working
solid
now. Like I
almost
see
20
my stuff
minutes.
working.
I know.
Yeah,
Congratulations, you're finally seeing it.
I'm a smart person.
All right,
I
so-
understand that.
So yeah, we're angry at
Let's just
Justin to
catch up
begin
to
this
where
podcast.
we were at.
So how are you guys doing?
Oh my
I'm
god.
good, but how's your mic doing? That's a good question.
This is great.
I'm doing
Damn it.
fine. I'm doing all right.
All right, we
God,
got that the
okay.
first podcast, McConaughey.
All right. What did we talk about in the beginning of the podcast?
We
PAX.
totally didn't talk about PAX
PAX.
East for 15
This
minutes
week.
before Justin's mic shit out.
All
This
right,
week,
let's
PAX East.
rush out. Okay, so we have to explain. We are heading out to PAX East this Thursday, and we're gonna meet
This
each
Thursday.
other on. We're gonna stay in a hotel,
A hotel.
and we're gonna go to PAX Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're probably
Friday,
gonna head
Saturday,
back.
Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a fun, awesome time with the three of us and two other friends and one of Marco's friends.
Uh-huh.
Marco is one of our friends.
Yes.
Yes.
I was explaining it to the audience.
The
You know,
audience.
you can't just say friends. They don't understand.
All right,
Okay,
guy.
then.
All right, quit breaking
Let's
the
not
fourth
get
wall, guy.
sentimental about this.
It's not
I'll
needed.
s-
It's not
slap-
needed.
We're gonna slap you silly when we see each other at PAX.
I'm also gonna slap his mic silly, so this way, maybe it works.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Can you tell him
yeah.
I'm mad at Justin's mic?
I can tell. You're a little salty.
I can tell you're pretty mad.
As opposed to what? Peppery?
True.
Paprika.
Paprika?
Spice. Spice Girls.
Yo, let's talk about PAX. What are we doing for PAX? What were we talking about before?
We're going to go to panels, and we're going to play games, and we're going to meet YouTubers.
Panels and games. All right, what games again? We're gonna be there.
Axiom Verge. Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
Ton of other things.
Shovel
Heard
Knight
of all
showing off
these
DLC.
games.
Mm-hmm. I saw a game called Rumbo today. Where
Rumbo.
it's
Did you
similar
set it to
the
Rumbo?
Fun Run game.
You
Rumbo.
Rumbo, he
Rumbo.
Rumbo,
Similar to Fun
she
Run that came out on
Rumbo.
iOS.
It's
and
first grade,
It's 9 players
SpongeBob.
available on the Wii U. Where actually you connect the nunchucks to 4 Wii remotes, and then each player uses either a Wii remote or a nunchuck, and then the 9th player uses the Wii pad,
Do you
the
set
Wii U.
Do you set the Wii U to Rumbo?
the gamepad. Yeah, he said it to Rumbo.
Rumbology.
Rumbo.
Rumbology.
Jake it.
The study of Rumbo.
All right. What
Rumbo.
else was there supposed to be? So Microsoft is having a huge booth there.
They had a pretty big one last year too.
Yeah, Microsoft's having a pretty sizable booth.
And what are the games they're showing off? Like Battlefield and Halo 5.
Microsoft is going to have Halo 5 Guardians multiplayer playable, Battlefield Hardline campaign playable, Ori and the Blind Forest, Scream Ride.
What's
Evolve.
Hardline's campaign gonna be like?
It's like cop drama.
Like Payday,
Basically.
but like
I don't know the
cooler.
specifics, but yeah. They showed a little off.
You said Microsoft is
E3
going to be
last
any
year.
Tomb Raider.
No, they're not doing any Tomb
Nah,
Raider
it's
stuff
PS4
there.
How would you know,
exclusive
Justin? You
anymore.
work for Microsoft.
No, I looked at the itineraries for Square
could always be a
Enix, which is right next to
surprise.
Microsoft's booth.
They could always surprise us.
Yes, there is actually a cosplayer who's going to be dressed as the new Lara Croft, and if you go see her and say hi and mention the promotion she's having, she's actually going to give you a free poster.
That sounds swagadocious.
It does sound pretty cool.
A Hot Gamer Grill is going to give you a free poster if you
Yeah,
say
Hot
stuff to
Gamer
her.
Grill is going to give you a free poster.
Awesome.
No way, man. That
Free
seems like
poster.
Who is
it's
this
like
hot gamer
You get
girl?
to meet her. What is her name? What is her like?
What's this name? Just something that Justin always says when he refers
Twitter
to stuff.
handle and her Instagram, which you obviously
What's her
have.
name?
I do have her information.
Yeah, you
No,
clearly
it's
don't
not
have it
giving
on
out.
your on you right now because you don't know it.
I
What's
do.
the gamer grill's name, Justin? Oh yeah,
I will
What's
give
the
it to you
grill?
in a
Who's the
second.
grill?
I think he'll tell us when his mic's fixed.
The grill.
The grill.
Grill. George Foreman grill.
Grill.
George Foreman.
Excuse me?
Is George Foreman still alive?
Does it matter?
Do you guys even know who
Is he,
George
like-
Foreman is besides me?
He's an athlete that
Wasn't he
made-
on Drake and Josh?
Yeah, his moment of fame. He was on Drake and
Okay,
Josh. That's what everybody knows
found
him
it.
from.
Yeah.
He was a boxer.
That was
World
the-
famous cosplayer and adventurer Jen
George
Croft,
Foreman was not a famous
known for 15
cosplayer.
years of embodying
Foreman
Laura
was a
in look
boxer.
and spirit. Her name is Jen Croft, and you're taking
No,
her
his name is George
spotlight.
Foreman.
We're not talking about George Foreman.
I was talking about George Foreman.
George Foreman doesn't matter right now. He died.
You think
Okay?
he was
Oh, he
famous
did?
for the episode of Drake and Josh that he was on?
He was famous for a grill that he made, that he sold,
He did that
and
after
that
he was
grill
done
was on
boxing,
Drake and
though.
Josh.
Nah, nobody even knew he was a boxer until the grills came out.
No, not until he
Yeah.
was on the episode of Drake and Josh.
The grills had a picture of him boxing, and they're like,
Grill.
"Yeah, he
what was
was
the
a
name of the
boxer."
grill
And
on
you're
that,
like,
on that Drake and
"What?"
Josh episode? It was like the.
Wasn't it the George Foreman grill?
Yeah, I thought it was
I'm
the
pretty
George
sure it was
Foreman
the George
grill
Foreman
ripoff
grill, and then he
thing.
came there, and then they're like, "Oh my God, you're George Foreman," and he's like, "Yeah," and you're selling my grills, and he's like, "Oh yeah."
It's like
No, it was the
such a
Gary
big
Coleman.
plug.
The Gary Coleman, I think, griddle.
Oh yeah, but didn't he like show up?
And it
in the
was
episode?
wasn't it like the actual Gary Coleman? No, yeah, George Foreman wasn't on an episode of Drake and Josh. It was Gary Coleman. George Foreman was the boxer who has the George Foreman grill named after
I
him.
digress.
And there's the Gary Coleman grill.
This is
and then
why
Gary
we can't have
Coleman
nice
appeared
things.
in the episode
I
of
didn't
Drake and
even
Josh.
want to talk
and I'm pretty
about
sure Gary
grills
Coleman's
or
dead.
Gary
right?
Coleman or
Did you look up Did you look up on IMDb
I
if that's
don't
true or
want to
not?
talk
What,
about
Gary
grills
Coleman? If he's still
anymore. I wanna
alive? I'm
talk
pretty sure.
about
Didn't he
PAX.
die a couple years ago? Gary Coleman?
Yeah, Gary Coleman died. I don't know about George Foreman. George Foreman may be alive. I don't know.
I think he's still alive.
If he's
Still
still
alive and
alive,
grilling?
good for him. I
Gamer
don't know
grilling?
what else to say.
Someone explain to us how we got from
Anyway.
PAX East to Gary Coleman and his death.
Okay,
George
PAX East.
Foreman.
PAX
What else
East.
are you guys excited about seeing at PAX?
PAX East. I don't know.
I thought you said.
Mark Claire.
Well, I wanted to go and see. Well, I hear there's a lot of like different like content creators that are going to PAX East.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to. What the fuck was it? I wanted to go to the League of Legends like music panel.
Which is gonna be booked like
It's
really
gonna be,
early.
like, crazy, but
You're gonna have to wait like 3 hours to get into that.
Hey, I will attempt. I will like circle around.
Last
and
year, you
see.
guys went an hour and a half early, and the thing was booked, and you were like, "That's crazy."
It was insane, but that was when they had a huge panel. Hopefully, people are gonna be like, "Oh man, well that's like the only possible place we can get free like skins for champions."
I don't even know if they're gonna be giving free skins. I
They
mean,
should. Why
if
not?
they do though, Matt, I think they're gonna be in the swag bags because I don't think they give them out otherwise. They may give them out at the panels, but also in the swag bags.
Oh my god, I need to get so many swag bags.
Yeah, free Cards Against Humanity cards against in the oatmeal packets.
Oh, true.
That was
Yo,
brilliant.
that oatmeal was a lifesaver. I got really hungry when I was on the show floor.
Yeah, we also
Yes.
talked about last PAX before, but we didn't talk about it now.
All right, so what did we talk about from last PAX? Do we want to talk about everything that went down?
Yeah, why not?
Nah, it was fun. It was our first experience last year.
Yeah,
and
first time I went to PAX East
I had a
was last
great
year.
time.
Oh, it was very fun.
Because I feel we should elaborate on what happened.
About
We were in an elevator with Rooster Teeth.
Yeah,
and
we
we got
were.
a selfie.
Forgot about
Oh
that.
yeah, that was nice.
Michael
We were in
Michael
there with,
Jones from Rooster Teeth. He took a selfie when we were in the elevator going down. It was right after the Rooster Teeth. Their main.
it was
their
right
main
after the
event.
panel, and we saw Mike from Internet Box. Took pictures with him, and
Yep.
then we saw.
Then we saw
Bernie.
We saw
Gavin.
Bernie. We saw Michael.
What was it? It was Bernie, Michael, Gavin, and Lindsay.
Yeah, and Lindsay.
And Ashley.
And then we asked
I
them
didn't
if we
remember
could take
seeing
pictures with
Ashley.
them. And then well, actually, we wanted to take a picture
They
with Bernie
ended-
because I had already seen Michael and Lindsay because I had gone to the Rooster Teeth booth like the first thing in the morning because this was Friday morning, and so next thing we know we asked Bernie if we could take a picture with them. He's like, oh, hold on, we got to go in the elevator. He's like, come with us though. He's like, come down to the elevator, and we're like, oh, holy shit. And then we go into the elevator, and it was like a packed like to the max elevator. Like we couldn't get one.
I think
more
there were
person in
like
this elevator.
16 or 18 people in this
Yeah,
elevator.
in one elevator.
I'm just gonna say I got cornered in the wall by this really fat dude.
Yo, same. I was right next to you.
It was really unfortunate.
And then
Yeah, shout out to
then
the really fat guy.
we're just
Michael posted like a picture on Twitter of him in the elevator.
yeah.
and it
Michael
had, like,
Michael pulls out
3
his
of our
phone.
friends.
He's like, guys, it's time for a selfie. And he goes to the corner of the elevator. He pulls out his phone, and he puts the picture of us on Twitter. Now I'm in the picture. I'm dead in the middle of the picture. Roland
It's
and Marco
you,
are to the
Roland,
left.
Marco, and then it's like
A little bit of
Cade's
Cade.
like
Cade's
side.
like sleeve is like partially in the shoulder. He's wearing like a yellow
And then
shirt, I
it's
think.
Me and Justin are just non-existent in that.
Yeah, we were behind
I'm
the guy
right
in the
middle
corner.
of the picture. I'm smack in the middle. That was
And
honestly
Danny
one of the
probably
greatest moments
got-
of my life.
That was
Very
funny.
happy.
It was very funny.
Oh, so happy.
Oh, but the best part, I think, was when.
Just put the picture in the YouTube thing,
Applebee's.
Justin, so everybody can see. Like,
Oh yeah,
Applebee's.
on the YouTube video you can like put pictures up.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Justin did for the
That'd
last
be
podcast.
Yeah, I'll do it. I got this.
Yeah,
Oh,
just mark
beautiful.
the times
I
down.
actually,
Dude,
I
I'll
have-
do my
I have
best,
the
George
picture
Lopez.
I have the picture saved because I jerk off.
I will find the picture, Danny.
I jerk off.
Do
You
it.
could trust me. You could trust me implicitly.
I believe.
I jerk off.
You can't
Alright.
trust people like that don't do nice things like Roland when he says let's go to Applebee's and then
Oh my
Next thing
god!
you know-
Don't
Having this
even
debate on the
try to
podcast,
blame this
but-
all. No,
bad
we
things
are.
happen when you try to go to Applebee's with your friends. That's all I'm
Okay.
gonna say.
No, when you walk
I'm
to
going to
Applebee's, when you walk quote
I'm
unquote
go-
1.7 miles. to
All right, I'm
Applebee's.
going to explain
if we
what
drove
happened.
there, it would have
Alright.
been the same
Hey,
situation.
hey!
Matt,
I'm going to explain
story
what
time,
happened
story
in this.
time.
It's story time. All right. So what was this? Saturday night.
It was Saturday night.
Yeah,
we left
Saturday.
the convention at.
It was Saturday night. It was
5:30.
like 5:30ish, and we wanted to go and get something to eat. We had kept eating like at the convention center, and we wanted to just go out and eat at like a restaurant or something. So one of our friends pulls up his phone, and he's like, "Oh, there's an Applebee's like 1.7 miles away from here."
Which, to add to this, I had gotten a list of all the restaurants in Boston that were close by, within 0.5 miles, so we can go get something to eat that was good food close to the convention center.
Yeah, well, we didn't. For some reason, we all decided that Applebee's was the place to go, but there was a division in our group. There was me and Danny, the reasonable ones, who wanted to take a taxi. We're like, it's gonna get really dark soon, and we're not gonna know where to go. Let's just take a taxi, and then we can just head back to our hotel or whatever, or head back to the convention center, and do whatever. And then there was Roland and Justin that were like, "Nah, we can just walk. We don't want to spend the money for a taxi." Even though it would have been split between like 6 people. It was ridiculous. And so we ended up walking the entire way, which took like an hour and like an hour and a half or something ridiculously long. It was like really dark. It was like 7, 8 o'clock at night by that time. We got there. Food was alright. The service was meh. And then it's like 9 o'clock at night, and all of a sudden we're like 2 miles out from downtown Boston, and we have no idea. We're in bumblefuck nowhere. We have no idea what we're doing, and it was so fucking scary. And
Yeah.
then these random strangers just like
Offered
while
to
we
give
were
us
there,
rides.
Offered us to give us a ride in their van. Like, nah, man, nah, like tell us where you want to go, and we can just drive you there. Like, no problem. We can probably all fit you all in our van.
What he said
Yeah,
was,
he looked like a
he was
deer
like,
in headlights.
Listen,
He's like,
I know
no.
y'all scared. I know y'all scared. It's nighttime. You in the black area of Boston, and you have no ride. Don't worry, kids. We can give you a ride. You fucking idiots were considering getting in with him. You're like, guys, he sounds pretty cool. We should get in with him. He's
No,
gonna
it's
give us
just
a ride."
you
No.
started freaking out like
No.
crazy.
I'm like, no. I was the only reasonable one. I'm like, no, we are not taking a ride from this man. Fuck off.
No, to be fair, no, it was me. It was like me, Cade, Marco, and like Roland. We're all like looking at each other. We're like, yeah, we're not gonna go into it. Danny was like very like noticeably like pissed off at this. He was like, no way, this is gonna happen.
Then he
And
cursed out the cab drive person.
Justin tried to like.
I tried calling, for. I called a taxi, like whatever. Boston
Yeah, we
taxi,
tried
whatever.
when
I was like,
we
oh,
got
can
out
you
of the
guys
restaurant.
send,
We tried
like,
to get
2
a taxi.
taxis for us because we had 6 people. We weren't gonna fit in one taxi. We're like, okay, can you send 2 for us? They're like, yeah, sure. It'll be like 45 minutes. So I'm like, all right, whatever, that's fine. Then like an hour and 15 minutes later, hour 20, they're like, oh yeah, we don't have any taxis available right now. I'm like, it's fucking Saturday night in Boston. You don't have any taxis available, and you're a taxi cab service in Boston. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I got really mad at the fucking guy that worked on the.
It was pretty
taxi
ridiculous.
Service. I got
Yeah,
really mad. I started
was really
cursing him out.
stupid.
And eventually,
And then we just.
and then
Well, we had the whole issue about, strangers coming up and offering us a ride, and Justin was
Yeah,
like,
that
"Oh,
happened.
I want to get in that van." No,
Yeah,
Justin.
exactly.
No,
I
this
was
is
like, I want in that van. That's
no. Justin proposed that because there was
Justin
like a
found
bus
out that the
kept
van didn't have
passing
any
through.
candy, and he got turned off to the idea.
I suggested that we were in a bed area, and I was like, "There's a bus that leaves from here."
No,
Why don't
there
we
was
take
a
it
bus
and try
that
to
you
get a
didn't
cab?
know where it was going. You were just gonna take it there, hoping that we would get somewhere closer to the city.
Yeah.
It could have taken us in complete opposite direction, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't have known that.
We would have been away from the people that were near us.
Chances are it wouldn't have led us anywhere any better.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Just
So
my
we
2
finally,
cents.
it's like 10:30 at night, and we are like, we're fucking done with this. So we like, there's a cop car in the parking lot that we're in, and we go up to it and we ask, like, is there any way that you can like arrange a ride for us? Because we're having no luck right now. And she's like, you know what? We'll just drive back. I'll fit all 6 of you into my car, and we'll drive back to the convention center, and then you can do whatever from there. And so that was really helpful. I'm
Yeah.
so
Except for the fact
thankful
that there were
she was
6 of
there.
us in one car. There were 5 of
Well-
us in the back seat of the police car.
Oh yeah, so 5 of us, like Marco laid out across us. We were sitting in the back seat of a police vehicle. Cade was sitting up in the front, and we were singing like,
We decided that Cade would go in the front because he needed the most legroom because he was the tallest out of all
What,
of us.
Clearwater?
yeah, we were Creedence Clearwater or whatever it is.
Yeah, that song. What song was that came on? I wanna
In the Rain.
know. Have you ever seen
Yeah,
the
that
rain?
song.
I think it's Fortunate
It was
Son.
a-
I think that's the name of the song, Fortunate Son.
I think
That might be
no, that's not it
That's
at
not
It's
all.
a different song.
Have you ever seen whatever the song is? People, the classic rock fans, you know it. Why are you even asking us? We don't. We know.
Honestly,
you know
the
it.
most
Why is that?
uncomfortable
The
car ride
song
of my
is
life.
called "Have You Ever Seen the
We started
Rain?"
singing along, yeah.
By
We started
Creedence
singing
Clearwater.
along to that song, and the police officer was just like, "What the fuck are these kids doing?"
Because we were happy that we weren't gonna get kidnapped that night.
Yeah,
We
most
weren't gonna get
uncomfortable
stabbed.
car ride of my life, but that was honestly one of the best
Probably.
car rides of my life.
Yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
like so satisfying. It was like 4 hours later. But man, we're never doing that again. Never.
Okay.
We're never going that far for food. The farthest I'm going is Chipotle, and that's it.
Yeah, well, there's a Chipotle between our hotel and the convention center, so it's easy.
I'm gonna have Chipotle for breakfast. When does
So-
Chipotle open? Like 8?
I
No,
think
not that
9
early.
or 10. Probably 9 or 10. We can go there for dinner every night, though. I don't really mind.
I'm
then
gonna
Danny can
eat,
get
I'm gonna
his
eat 2
2
burritos like a
burritos.
fat.
He's gonna eat 2
Crap,
burritos
I
2
am.
nights in a row, and he's gonna.
Yo, I'm so
Have a
upset
baby.
that Aaron's not going, so he can eat 3 burritos.
Yo, shout out to Aaron.
For dropping out of school?
No,
You what?
Oh. Yeah, you didn't know about
that's
this?
not nice.
No, I didn't know about that.
Oh yeah, he did drop out of
Aaron
school,
dropped
though,
out
but
of
that's
school.
not. That's
Wow.
none of our concern.
Yeah, it's none of our business.
Okay.
though.
None of our business. Okay.
Yeah, I feel bad. Plus, he's getting shoulder surgery.
Oh yeah, that also sucks.
Yeah, but anyway, we should have PAX East coverage next week, and it should be a lot of fun and hype. The hype train
Hype,
has
hype,
no
hype.
brakes, and it's going
Hype.
faster,
Hype.
and it's going to stop.
It's
at
never gonna
the
stop.
gonna stop.
BCEC.
The hype,
It's just gonna keep
the
going and
hype
going
train
and
does
going.
not stop. It does, and the hype train never stops.
The hype train does not stop at PAX East 2015. It continues to PAX East 2016, PAX East 2017. It keeps going on and on.
You know, like the train.
Really tradition, am I
you know,
right?
like that train from Snowpiercer.
Yeah, it just keeps going
Yup.
until Chris Evans destroys it.
I was thinking more of Polar Express, but all right.
Polar
Come on,
Express.
man. We
where,
all know Santa doesn't exist.
Is that Gary Oldman?
Yo, man, I hear the bell. I hear the bells.
Polar Express.
I
That's
believe.
Gary Oldman, right?
Who that plays the conductor?
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
No, it's Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Why does he look like Gary Oldman?
It's Tom Hanks. I don't know.
He
It's
looks
just the
exactly
animation.
like Gary Oldman.
It looks like Tom Hanks, to be honest.
I've
JK.
Polar-
only seen the
Express
movie like
conductor.
once, so I don't really remember.
Yo, it's a good movie. You should watch it.
No, I seen
He
it. I saw it
looks-
once. It was like probably
yeah,
7 or
but
8
you
years
have
ago.
to
so
see
I
it
don't remember.
again. It changes you, man.
Does it?
It gives you the feels.
The Christmas feels.
Yeah, the Christmas story.
The Christmas creepily crawlies and
Danny
whatnot.
has no tolerance for anything Christmas related.
Nope, don't
he
like-
hates Christmas music.
Don't hate
and
Christmas
he
music.
Does not watch Christmas movies.
Don't watch Christmas movies either.
He has never seen A Christmas Story, which I think is
Nope.
ridiculous.
Oh my God! How have you not seen A Christmas Story? That's like
He has
the
My
no
parents
soul.
haven't seen it either.
He has no soul.
It's like that and Home Alone. I would say are the two movies.
I was like, Mom, you know I've never
Well-
seen Christmas Story. She's like, well, I haven't either. I'm like, oh, cool.
Wow.
That's depressing.
I
I'm
guess
just saying.
you just aren't an
You
American.
were brought up with
That's
no.
like one of the essentials
feelings.
of being an American is having seen Christmas Story.
What are the
And
other
watching
essentials? What are the other
Parks and
essentials? I'm kind
Recreation.
of curious what your viewpoint on this is, Matt.
Having legal residence of these United States, of which
What
you
does
do
it
not
mean
have.
to
Wow.
Be
Okay,
a
Matt gave us the
person
politically
in the
correct
United
term.
States?
Come on.
Okay.
Be racist, Matt.
Yo, man,
Gotta hear
I
it.
have to run for I'm gonna run for president one day. I have to be politically correct.
President. Did
I
you
can
say
s-
president?
I'm gonna be the prez.
I'm not
you
going to be
know,
president.
in like
Never will.
2040.
I think Danny has too many skeletons in his closet to be president.
I have a lot of other things in my closet to be president.
Okay, moving on.
Babies.
The hype train
Jesus.
that starts at PAX goes all the way through March,
Never
as I was
ends.
talking with Danny this week about how many things are actually going on in March.
A lot of shit's going on in March.
Shit's going
Especially
down.
March
Tomorrow-
10th.
Yeah, tomorrow Helldivers comes out on PS4, and that game looks like it's going to be fantastic. 4-player, ruthlessly hard co-op.
If you're listening to this, it's
That is
probably
sure
already
to be a
out.
lot of fun. Yeah, go pick it up.
We're
It's a lot of
talking
fun.
in the future.
It's on sale for a week, so
How
get
much
it.
is it?
It's on sale for I think $12.
Oh man, that's a steal.
Solid deal.
$12.99.
What kind of game is
Solid
Helldivers?
deal.
I
Helldivers
haven't
is
really heard of
actually
that.
no. Helldivers is on sale for $17.99 with a regular price of $19.99
Boo.
through March 9th. Speaking of Helldivers, Sony actually announced that they're going to be doing a Spring Fever sale for the next 8 weeks, showing off some great indie games coming to the systems, as well as having franchise sales across
Movies and games.
8 different franchises. And the titles that are releasing as followed: Helldivers, Hotline Miami 2, Jamestown, Metal Slug 3, Axiom Verge, Titan Souls, Bastion, and Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight.
So hype.
Wow.
And all those games are going to be on sale the first week that they're available, which is pretty cool.
Yo, I have to ask Roland if he ever finished playing Shovel Knight because I gifted it to him on Steam, and apparently he played it and he liked it.
Well, it's releasing on PlayStation, cross-buy, cross-save, everything April 21st. So, yeah.
Yee.
$13.49 on sale. And then March 10th, we got GTA 5 Heists, which should be
Woo.
exciting.
Finally. Feel like
We have,
an
mean,
old man.
that game I don't own. I'm waiting for the PC version like a normal person.
Let me just.
that's probably going to, it got delayed again, like I said it would.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Justin
yeah,
was talking
I
to me like the
heard.
day before they announced it was going to be delayed. Justin's like, this
I'm
seems like this fucking
I haven't
thing's
heard
gonna be
anything
delayed
about the
again.
game in a while. Probably going to get delayed again.
Yeah.
And then it got delayed again. And then I texted
He's like,
my
I got
friend,
it.
GTA 5 PC got delayed again.
Well,
the
I'm
last
just
2 texts.
I'm hoping it's worth it.
It should be. I mean, I heard the install
They
was
have
like
to keep
60
delaying it
gigabytes,
for a
so-
reason. It's not like they're making it worse or anything.
I think they're just sorting out issues that they had internally. I don't know.
Why didn't they get a tissue?
But,
Moving on.
but,
On March 10th, the Far Cry 4 Yeti's DLC
Valley
is
of the
also
Yeti.
releasing. Along with the Evil Within DLC,
the assignment. I am probably going to pick that up because I love the Evil Within.
Yeah, I have it sitting here. I just haven't gotten to it yet. My backlog is destructively upsetting.
Destructively. That's
Yeah, I started listing it. There's like 320 something games on my backlog, and I'm like, this will
Jeez.
That's
take
ones
me a
across
long
like
time
4
to finish.
systems though, so.
Yep, Steam, 360, PS3, PS4.
So, are
Vita.
you going to make a dent in that anytime soon?
I took like 10 games off of it in the last month, so I'm working on it. It's just
Well, how many games did you add in the last month?
3, and I finished all of those 3 games.
So you technically got rid of 7. Oh no, wait.
I started 3 games.
I'm gonna stay out of
and
this. I'm not a
I
math person.
finished 7 other games. And I finished those 3 games, so I finished 10 games. Yay, we did math.
You did
Hooray.
math.
And Hotline Miami 2 comes out that day as well. So
No way.
hype, hype, hype.
Woo.
Hype.
Justin, you want to say what else
And
you're
then-
doing in the rest of March?
Yeah, March we got spring break after that, so
Woo!
that's exciting.
Woo.
And then
Matt, when's
after
your
spring
spring
break,
break?
I don't know.
you should,
Sometime like
we're
that.
still gonna hang out because
Well, yeah.
hype.
I'm assuming you're coming back for it.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Matt and I are gonna hang
next
out and have
Friday.
potato salad.
Potato
true.
salad.
Why don't you join on our potato salad festivities?
I'm allergic to potato salad.
Understandable.
Too much mayo.
Understandable.
Yeah, I get it. Some people can't handle the mayo.
Yeah, the mayo's too much for my taste, said Roger. Speaking of Roger, that following Tuesday, March 24th, I'm actually going to see Bo Burnham. So that should be
Who?
very exciting. Bo Burnham? Are you saying you haven't
What
heard
did I
of
do
Bo
last
Burnham?
night? I cried
What you
myself.
talking about, fool? Bo Burnham is a guy.
We are very big Bo Burnham fans on this podcast.
Bo Burnham is the man.
And Bo Burnham's new tour should be very exciting. I've heard great things, and I'm probably going to get the chance to meet him.
Is it
and
just
will
like
be
his
very
special,
cool.
or is it like
No, it's new material.
completely different?
It's his
material.
third stand-up that he's going to be presenting. He's on tour right now.
That's pretty awesome.
And also
Yeah.
on that day, the 24th, Borderlands Handsome Jack Collection. Woo!
But
Oh, so many good
bigger than
things.
that, we have Bloodborne, which is set to be amazing.
I am not getting Bloodborne, but Justin won't shut up about it, so I'm
You
assuming
should get Bloodborne.
No,
You're
thank
going to
you.
get Bloodborne.
No, thank
I
you.
will make you get Bloodborne.
No, thank you.
You will see the reviews for that game, and you will be like, yeah, I might pick this
It's
up.
going to be too
And then you'll
difficult
play
for
it,
my taste.
and it will be too hard, and then you'll rage quit the game, and then you'll see, like, was it fun? And you're like, yeah, but I'm not good at it, so.
Anything else for big games? Wait, does Battlefield come out? Or did they
Battlefield
delay
comes
that?
out. I'm just not really interested. They actually announced the premium edition for that today,
Yeah, I seen that.
or the premium expansion pass, which is going to be $50, $49.99, like every Battlefield expansion pass. But it's only coming with 4 expansions compared to 5, which Battlefield 3 and 4 had. I guess because Visceral has a shorter development cycle. But there is so much included in it that shouldn't be. It should be included in the main game. Like the ability to prestige is included in the DLC. The ability to actually customize your weapon's looks is included in the DLC. The ability to compete on leaderboards is in the DLC. I just don't see
That
a
seems
reason.
a little excessive.
And there was actually a really stupid trailer for Battlefield Hardline that got released today. That's like 31 seconds. I think they called it on Kotaku the most useless game trailer ever made. Because it's the Battlefield Hardline premium sign with a soldier, and it keeps flashing between the two, and a gunshot firing. It's like, wow,
No,
premium.
it's pretty cinematic,
Oh my
if you
God.
ask me.
It's not, like, worth it. It's just, I don't know. I mean, the DLC I think is good. Get it if you like the game, but I don't really have much to say. I'm getting other games because 3 weeks after Bloodborne comes out, Mortal Kombat releases, which I'm super hyped
Oh yeah,
for.
that's what I was about to say. What are the what's the news on Mortal Kombat 10?
Mortal Kombat 10 Mobile Edition, that got announced today.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's going to be, I guess, like the Injustice game for the phones. It's card-based / fighting, like
Nice.
the Injustice game. And Marco is sure to put 500 plus hours into the game.
Oh man, he's gonna get addicted to it, but I'm gonna get addicted to it.
Yeah,
addicted to
especially
it
since
too.
you're going to be playing the console version. You're going to unlock stuff in each version.
It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it should be fun. I mean, I'm excited. And Mortal Kombat 10 Mobile is releasing the same day the game releases on April 14th. So be sure to look out for that.
But how can I play them both at the same time?
Because you have 4 hands.
Oh damn!
Or-
Matt's actually
Maybe
Matt's
you-
a spider.
I'm Spider-Man.
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 Hey, new
s-
Spider-Man.
segue.
Apparently, Dylan
Segue,
O'Brien. Maybe new Spider-Man.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant to talk about with
that's
Spider-Man,
what I was
but we
thinking
can
about
start. Segue. Dylan O'Brien and
Logan Lerman, right?
Yeah.
Logan Lerman. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Whatever you just said.
The guy
It
from
sounds like his
Fury.
name.
Who used to be in
Oh, I also have a little
Percy Jackson,
side comment about
He
Fury.
was very young in Percy Jackson. But Spider-Man could be one or the other. I'm looking at Dylan O'Brien because I think he'd be better for the role, but they haven't officially announced anything. They were just
What happened to
rumors
Andrew
of-
Garfield?
because the fact that they're actually making a new Spider-Man movie in the universe and they want it to be new, they really can't use Garfield because it'd be very confusing how he has all this canon and then they're trying to bring it into a new
I have no
series.
idea what they're trying to do with the Spider-Man series. So
I
they're
mean,
starting it over again.
No, this is exciting news. That's not official, but it's like
I swear to God, if they do
official.
another origin story for
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man, oh my God, please.
So
just
Spider-Man's
turn it
going to be
over.
appearing.
The third one in like the last 15
Spider-Man
years.
will be appearing in a Marvel movie in the MCU, most likely Civil War, and he will be appearing in there first. It'll be a new actor. It should be exciting. It's going to be Peter Parker. It should be fun. After that, we have a Spider-Man movie, a new Spider-Man movie coming out in 2017. And this movie is supposed to be a new era for the franchise. It's coming out July 28th, 2017. And it's going to be co-produced by Kevin Feige. I think I'm saying that right. And
Who is that?
Amy Pascal, who got demoted or fired from Sony,
Shout out
but
to
she's
Justin
still
for
working on the movie.
answering Matt's question.
About what?
Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the Marvel Cinematic Universe guy. He's the guy responsible for making the Marvel movies as good as they are. And he's going to be overseeing the entire movie. But what's really cool is, I guess you guys didn't hear who they were rumors about who's directing and writing the movie.
I would like to know.
I would like to know.
Ooh-hoo-hoo. So these aren't official, but they're most likely true because everything that came out today, we're pointing towards it. But apparently Drew Goddard, who is known for Cabin in the Woods, is
Cabin
going
in the
to be
Woods.
writing and directing the new Spider-Man movie.
Cabin in the Woods is such a good movie.
But I think that him on the helm of the movie could actually save it, and it will be much better than just getting
Save
into
it?
a...
Did it need
Yes.
saving?
Spider-Man needs saving, Matt. He's drowning, and he needs your help.
Everybody gets one.
Everybody's
Everybody
like-
gets one.
Except Spider-Man.
Spider-Man said like 5 at
Spider-Man
this point.
said 5, and... Well, I think
I think
one of them
Spider-Man
is actually
needs
a good
one after
movie.
Spider-Man 3.
I think,
Oh.
And
I
it
think
also
the only
Amazing
good
Spider-Man 2,
Spider-Man
which was
movie
a very
is
interesting
Spider-Man
movie.
2. Spider-Man 2 is the only good Spider-Man movie. Everything else
like
is
the first
mediocre.
Spider-Man
at best.
movie.
So wait, are they just not making any more Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies?
Yep, that's it.
Well, they're not going to because it's going to be... The Spider-Man that they're going to be using is going to be featured in the Marvel movies.
And they didn't
For-
want it to be Andrew
Which
Garfield.
kind of stinks because
And I
I
think
liked...
that because it's a different universe and that it would be kind of awkward cross-changing
don't
it.
get
Because
why
if they
they
want
have to change
if they wanted
actors.
to use villains that were already in the series that they used,
Why can't they decide what to do with the universe already? They just
don't
have
know.
to keep
I
changing
mean,
it.
now that they're doing this, it's
The
nice
third
because
remake.
Spider-Man's going to be actually part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's not owned by Marvel, but he's still owned by Sony. But they're going to be
collaborating.
Yeah, and it's the best thing probably that they could have right now.
It kind of
Which is
stinks because
very
I liked
exciting.
Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. He was a good Spider-Man.
And Sinister Six is still on hold. It didn't get canceled. They're still talking about doing it, so I guess they're gonna wait. It's just gonna be pushed off, and they're gonna do it eventually. But they also said in the announcement a couple weeks ago that Marvel characters will be appearing in the Spider-Man films that come out after his first appearance in the Civil War movie, I guess. So that's exciting.
Yes.
Speaking of Marvel,
Whoa. Segue.
exactly. Marvel is set to have a huge announcement within the next 2 days, as teased by Robert Downey Jr. on Twitter. He's been revealing character posters for the Age of Ultron movie, which comes out May 1st in the United States. And they're very exciting.
This year?
Yeah, Avengers comes out this year.
No way.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for that movie.
Yo, I'm gonna see the shit out of that movie. Are you gonna be back from college, man?
No, I'm going to see it here, and then
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
probably
probably
going to
gonna
see it
here,
again
too.
with you. I'm probably going to see it twice just because hype.
You're probably gonna have to see it with us when you get back anyway.
Yeah, are you going to wait? You're going to not see it, and then you're going to be like, okay, you're going with me, and I'll be like, all right.
I don't know if I can guarantee not seeing it.
I mean,
but
I don't really care. It's just I didn't
could
know
see
if
it
you'd
again.
Yeah, we'll see it again. Definitely.
It'll be
That
amazing.
movie will be like hype.
It's like when Roland went to go see X-Men again because he wanted to see that one scene where the guy like runs around.
Time in a bottle.
Yeah.
Quicksilver.
I mean,
Yes.
whatever.
Speaking of X-Men,
X-Men.
Hugh Jackman actually said that he wanted to see Wolverine in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because Fox was potentially thinking of killing off his character and within the next 3 movies because he's only signed on until
Good.
the Wolverine 2 in 2017. So if they do kill him off, Marvel may pick up the rights or do a similar simulation with Sony. And that'd be very interesting because I think that just taking the character of Wolverine rather than the entirety of the X-Men, because I know Fox's relationship with Marvel isn't that good.
Yeah. Well, if you're Fox, I don't see why you would just want to give that up, but I can definitely
And
see you
the
like
X-Men
proposing.
series has been so successful, it's not really
Exactly.
worth it. But he is only signed on for 2 more movies, Apocalypse and the Wolverine 2.
I can't imagine them being able to continue it without him.
I just feel like every movie now in the X-Men universe is like, this is a Wolverine movie more than an X-Men movie. And they said that they wanted to focus more on the cast as a whole, as an ensemble. But I am excited for all these superhero movies coming out in the future.
Yo, man, 2015 to like 2017 is just gonna be like littered with it.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Suicide
I think
Squad.
there's 8 movies coming out next year that are
Suicide
superhero
Squad.
movies. Because we have
Amazing.
Deadpool, we have Gambit, we have
And
Apocalypse,
Deadpool, I forgot about that. That's gonna
Yeah.
be funny as fuck.
we have Doctor Strange, we have
Hell yes.
Captain America 3, Civil War, we have Batman vs. Superman, we have Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
and it's set to be awesome.
It is going to be awesome.
Yeah, there were photos of Jared Leto's hair after he got cut today on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I guess he's actually
He cut
his golden locks. No, he's suiting up for the Joker. But superhero movies are like a very big thing. now. Where is she?
Well, they make a lot of money. They're gonna milk
I'm
this
not
out
wearing
until like
outfits.
nobody wants to go see
Yeah.
superhero
Well,
movies.
Marvel has movies apparently till 2028, like of like placeholder slots. Which
Well,
it's kind of
yeah.
crazy.
It's gonna be extremely lucky if they can continue to make movies of this high quality and make that much money from it. Shut the fuck
Qualiver?
up. I said quality.
Qualiver? Man, just event.
I
Just event their
made
word.
a mistake. I am sorry.
Mhm.
Soul Qualiver
fuck
6.
up.
Is that coming out soon?
Yeah. Fun fact: before this podcast actually started, Five Nights at Freddy's 3 was actually released on Steam officially. So
Yeah, I'm
that's
not
exciting.
playing that.
Oh, you're gonna chicken out again?
Mm-hmm.
We're
Scary
gonna have
game
a
night.
scary game night. and
Woo-
put it
I'll
up
play
and-
it at the next scary game
Look
night.
it up.
I
Scary
just
game night
wasn't
was
feeling
fun.
it on that night.
Yeah, but it looks exciting. It's supposed to take place 30 years after the previous game, after the establishment closed down. 30 years at the first game. The second game takes place in the past.
Whoa.
Oh,
And apparently there's only one animatronic. But apparently it's really spooky.
It's really spooky.
Too spooky for me.
Yeah, they split into two.
2-2.
3 spooky,
Five
5
me?
me.
High five me, man. We'll get together. Bro five.
Bro five.
Woo. So would you guys rather have a rant about the state of the industry or some people getting weird as our next segment?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with people getting weird because I'm not.
Okay.
gonna
People
do
getting weird
poor
for
viewers
500.
Okay. Okay. No,
I don't-
I'm
I
not
don't wanna
going to
see
get
Justin
angry,
get
but I'm
angry
going
over
to
games,
talk
'cause, you know,
about games,
bad
and you guys are
things
going
happen.
to respond about games. But I saw this story over at
Fine.
Kotaku today from Brian Ashcraft called "Joe Biden Gets Too Close to Anime Girls," where people had apparently been saying that Joe Biden had
my
been getting
God.
too close to people, and someone decided to take all those photos of him getting too close to these people and
Does.
putting in anime girls.
Oh yeah.
So there are a bunch of photos on Kotaku.
Are you gonna put them in the YouTube video?
Yes, they are pretty amazing. I gotta put this in the Skype chat.
I like to say it's things like these where it reminds me we live in a beautiful
you guys wanna
and
check this out?
horrifying
Yeah, the
world.
Yeah.
internet is
Perfect.
like single-handedly the best and worst thing. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Justin just put a link in the Skype chat.
Oh
They're-
my
they're
god,
pretty
this is
amazing.
So weird. Oh
Alright, these
my
pictures wanna
god.
load?
It's just, it makes you wonder why.
It looks so wrong.
but-
Oh, the one with Obama laughing.
It's just
Why is the
perfect.
fucking opening?
I know.
This is too bad. It's bad touch, all of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, mine just opened.
It's great, right?
Shit, what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, they're all great. The last one's pretty good too. I think the last one has the first one in.
All right, I can't look at these anymore. These are
Making
grossing
your
me
skin
the fuck
crawl.
out.
Oh, it's so gross.
Now I have a mental image of Joe Biden leaning in for a kiss.
Just
with all
gonna
of them.
pretend to be Joe Biden, just like sniffing her hair, just like it's
No.
okay, it's okay.
Joe
Hey,
Biden
Matt.
is one of those
Oh,
white people
please
that
stop.
like, anything he does is creepy. It's like him and Donald Trump.
You know what that reminded me of with him like getting really close to the anime girls?
But
Freaking Oberon in Sword Art Online.
yes,
How creepy he was.
Oh wow, Justin
I
found a
don't
really
know what you're
smooth way to
talking
put that
about.
segue
I totally
in.
haven't seen
Did
that
you
show.
watch the first season of Sword Art Online?
Never in my life have I seen that show.
Oh my god, Matt Eye.
Neither have
believe
I.
you.
Yeah, I totally didn't introduce you to the show or anything.
Yeah, totally not. And you guys totally didn't freak out when I started watching it.
It's such a good show.
It is.
The
and
first
it gets-
13 episodes are like some of the best I've ever seen.
I mean, it doesn't fall apart in the second half. It just gets weird. And that's what I was referring to by the
Second
Joe
half
Biden
gets
pictures.
all emotional and like icky, like it didn't need to.
It gets icky,
And then there was
but-
like And
I
then
don't
there
know.
was like a love story between like a brother and a sister, and I was like,
No
what the-
spoilers. No spoilers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Danny's going to watch this. It'll happen.
Honestly, that's something that you didn't really.
Speaking of really good TV, I know Justin's the only person that's watched this. I don't know if you have, but
Oh, yeah.
House of Cards season 3 came out.
Oh, I
last
didn't
week.
watch House of Cards yet.
It was released on Friday, and I started it this weekend. I've only watched
I
4
have
episodes.
not watched
but
House of Cards. Haven't watched
really
a single
good.
episode of House of Cards.
One
I'll
day
get around
we'll
to it
get
one
there.
day.
But you know what I have been watching? Better Call Saul.
Yeah, did you see the episode tonight?
I just saw. Well, wait, it airs on Mondays, right?
Yeah.
It's
tonight.
like episode 5.
Yeah, tonight.
Yeah, that's why we
Well,
wait till
I-
11
I
so
didn't
Justin can
see
watch
that
the
episode.
episode.
I
then.
saw
Oh,
episode 4.
It was a good episode.
Though to be fair, we didn't want to spoil the episode.
Stuff about Mike ensues, and you start to see what kind of cases Jimmy McGill wants to actually follow.
Wow, that's not.
I was
spoiler-ish
telling
at all.
Danny that there's this one person's house he goes to where someone wants to have a patent for a new invention, and he
Yes.
shows him a toilet, and he's like, "This is just a toilet." No, this is more than a toilet. And he shows him a voice box on the side that audibly compliments the user when something goes in the toilet bowl. And he puts a block of wood in the toilet, like a small block, and it's like starts getting really dirty and very sexual to his
Yeah, it's gonna get pretty
Toilet-
shitty
it's
really
toilet.
quickly.
to his young son, where he's like, "Oh, Chandler, you're so big. Oh, I want you inside me." Things like that, and
Well,
Yeah.
then, I'm just gonna have
That
to watch
escalated quickly.
episode 5.
it was pretty it's pretty funny.
Little side note, since we're talking about toilets, what's the name of like that toilet that like
Bidets.
rich people
A
use to like clean their
bidet.
asshole?
The one
my
that shoots
God.
water out people's ass.
A bidet?
I
Okay.
can't.
I feel
Yeah,
like I
that-
need a
that.
bidet.
I need to use a bidet one day.
Yo,
and then
I'll
Can
buy
we-
one.
Yo, if we can get a.
If I'm
we
rich,
go
I'll
to,
buy one.
The PAX Hotel, can you hook us up with a bidet?
They might have one. Are the pillows in our room
Do they do
say
that in
wicked
hotels? Like, do
schmott?
they have like bidets, rooms with bidets.
I'm just
Wicked
saying.
schmott.
Yeah, wicked schmott. They say
Wicked
it like
schmott?
that. Like Mark Wahlberg. They
Wicked-
like Boston
Wicked
accent.
piss off.
Wicked schmott.
Like Mark Wahlberg. I think I found a transformer, you guys. I was in The Departed. Come on, guys. with Jack fucking Nicholson. And you know, and Matt and Goodwill Hunting. Matt Damon.
Wahlberg?
I was with him too. I
Really,
was
you
part
were?
of Marky
He was
Mark
Marky
and the Funky
Mark.
Bunch. We had
Tell
that
me
one
more.
song. And with Leo, who
Oh,
still wasn't
speaking
won
of
an
Leo.
Oscar yet.
He's set to play a role in his next big film.
Bear
where he
Hunter.
portrays 24 different personalities as one character. And he has... Oh,
I thought we were talking about the
yeah,
Batman.
that's his next movie.
Like, that's the next movie
Next
he's doing.
Oscar movie he signed on for.
Whatever.
Cross your fingers.
Are you implying that the
Oh, it will.
Are you
It's-
implying that
it's not
Colin's
gonna
not
win.
get nominated for Oscars because Alejandro
He already
is
got all
his
Oscars.
Alejandro
It's
Gonzalez
Bane, man.
is doing that movie. Yeah, he already got all of his Oscars with Birdman. You know, the
Oh,
ones he
shots
didn't
fired.
deserve.
Pew, pew, pew,
He didn't.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Oh, more shots fired.
Yeah. But
He didn't.
it's really funny because
It
Leo's
should've gone to
portraying
Boyhood.
multiple men, women,
Did you know
and
the
children.
movie took 12 years to make?
Okay, we're done with the Oscar
12
rant, Danny. That was
years.
last week. Come on, man.
I know. I'm just being I'm being a ironic fanboy.
Yes, Danny. That's the point of the movie.
12 years to make.
Yes.
Did you know that in
Yes.
Django Unchained, Leo
Danny.
cut his hand?
Leo
He
will
still
get an
didn't
Oscar
get
one
the
day.
Oscar.
I promise you that. But
Nah.
maybe.
Yeah, it's just
Actually,
the running
I think
gag.
it's past his time. Maybe he hit his prime already. I think he already hit his prime, and now he's just gonna go downhill from now.
Downhill.
Are you
You think
kidding me?
he'll never get an
Robert De
Oscar,
Niro's,
and
like,
then
in
I'll just
70.
always
He's
laugh
70
at Danny
when
because
he
I'm
saw
like,
his
you know who
prime.
has an Oscar? Eminem. You know who doesn't have an Oscar?
Well, he wrote a good song.
Nicolas
Yeah,
Cage.
Nicolas Cage has an Oscar, and Leonardo DiCaprio does not have an Oscar.
Probably.
Brendan Fraser
Um,
win an Oscar? Just
yeah.
guys. Just for being Brendan Fraser? 'Cause that's an
Obviously,
act
he
in
won
itself.
he won an Oscar for the third Mummy movie.
Yes.
Obviously, for like best performance in a leading role. in the movie.
Brendan Fraser. Brendan's like,
Who did he
yes!
beat out that year? I don't even know.
Probably like
Every movie, he just won every award. He won like best
Exactly.
documentary for The Mummy 3.
Best short film goes to The Life of Brendan Fraser by Brendan Fraser.
Speaking of actors that
actors.
deserve Oscars,
What about
We were
the
talking
Oscars?
about toilets before, and then it reminded me of a movie that me
Alright.
and Danny watched.
But yo, hook us up with a bidet when we go to PAX. My asshole will thank you.
You're welcome. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, tickle, tickle.
Mine too.
Okay. Yeah.
If we don't get one, you have to
no
come
promises,
for us.
no promises, no promises.
And
no
when I mean
promises.
it, I mean our assholes.
Just remind me when we're in the room, and we need a code word.
You have to like
We need a
Justin.
code
You have
word.
to like. You have to lie on your Justin. You're gonna be our homemade bidet.
No,
lie
you say
on your
if you
back
say
and
sandy
splash water up
cheeks,
into
then
us
we
with your
know
mouth.
that we need bidet treatments right now.
Yeah, that's my safe
Sandy
word.
cheeks. All right. Speaking of toilets, me and Diddy watched a movie a couple of years ago. Very disturbing movie known as ABCs of Death.
Oh,
This
true,
movie-
True.
No.
I love this
I
movie,
love
but it's the
ABCs of
weirdest, most fucked up movie I've ever seen in my life. It's 26 short films
Weirdest
made by
movie I've ever
26
watched,
different
but I loved it.
directors, each starting with a different letter of the alphabet. And it gets from strange to just weird really fast. And I was at the point where I'm like, I don't know what I'm watching anymore. There's the letter T is a toilet skit where this toilet is feared by a kid. So his parents are like, hey, it's not that bad. You can use the toilet. And then the toilet proceeds to eat his whole family.
Nice.
And this is all in claymation. It
What, it's
gets
like the toilet
weird.
just like walk up. And,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
eat
it
them?
gets like
Like-
really big and like sharp teeth and just eats them, and it gets really bloody really fast, and it is just disturbing. I don't think it's on Netflix anymore though.
The one that it's
It might
No,
be,
I
but
think
I,
it's- well, actually,
I
it
couldn't
might
tell
be,
you.
I think.
So
It might
don't
be.
watch that. If
might
you
still be.
actually,
No. You should see this movie because on Thursday, a movie is being added to Netflix.
absolutely because
Yeah.
ABC's of 10.
And we're gonna watch it at PAX because.
The ABC. No.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're watching it.
I'm not watching it.
Just the one skit from ABC's of Death
Libido?
always stuck with me. I just is it's called it's the one L for libido. It's
A
How
masturbation
do I describe
contest
this
where you
being
die if you lose.
And
yep, that's probably the best.
You
way.
have to
and it's not
stimulate
even, like-
yourself.
and it's
yeah.
like you get like a
You have to
spike drilled through
stimulate
your head
yourself
if you,
to
you lose. It's
simple
fucking
images,
nasty.
but they get very gross and disturbing. Like someone gets shot in the head, and you have to like do it to that and stimulate your body. And it's like it gets to the point where these people are like dying because they're like they've been doing this for hours on end, and it's just so messed up. And like there's chainsaws and all this other stuff. It's just oh my god.
why do you guys like?
Me and Danny did not know what this movie
Popcorn.
was.
I don't
I heard
get
it was.
why you
I
guys
heard it was
like
fun.
movies like this.
We had no
I
clue
cannot
We
No,
didn't know
watch
what it
movies.
was. We were like, "Hey, Danny, want to watch this movie over at the Xbox party? Sure. What's it about? I don't know. It's 26 short horror films. Let's go. Woo!"
And we had to do it the hard way.
Yeah,
'cause
and we
Netflix
paused
party
it and
were
we're
not
like,
a thing
"Okay,
back
take a
then.
break."
Why Microsoft? Do you get rid of
I
Netflix
don't know.
parties? Why?
Because apparently they hate people.
The one of the best things that was on Xbox, and they took it away. Like
They deserve it. Microsoft.
They ain't for the people like us.
Microsoft's
do it for
giving
the
away
people.
free games that were given away on PlayStation last year. Tomb Raider and BioShock Infinite.
Yo, I'm just
For
looking
the
for free
people. Speaking of free shit, Sony still hasn't announced the PlayStation Plus games coming out tomorrow.
shit. Oh, Half-Life 3?
Oh yeah, I saw the funniest leaked images. Just Half-Life 3 and like The Last Guardian.
Yeah.
And then it was Half-Life 3 and The Last Guardian. And then the PS3 games are Shenmue 3. No, it was
No,
this
it
is
was
a different
Drive
one.
Club
It was
for the
Shenmue
PS4
3
game, it said.
and The Last of Us 2 for PS3. And then the Vita was Final Fantasy 7 Remastered and Demon Souls 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I'm just like, this is great.
just one of them was the long-awaited PlayStation Plus edition of Drive Club, which
Oh,
apparently
no,
we got
Sony
an update on.
confirmed it's
Might
still
not
happening.
happen.
There was
Oh really?
Yeah,
I heard a
there
guy
was,
said that, like,
some
don't count on it.
mixed messaging, but Sony came out and officially said that they're still working on. There's just some server load issues that they're working on. I mean, so yeah, this
Server
this
load
actually
issues that
gets
took
into
4
what I
months to
wanted
fix.
to actually talk about, like how Drive Club was actually like supposed to come out the day the PlayStation 4 released, and it took over a year. Like, think about this: February 2013, Drive Club was announced, right? Set to
Yeah.
come out as a launch title 2013 November. It doesn't come out till November or the fall of 2014 when it's broken. The game is broken. The servers
And
are
the game's
dead.
still
The
broken
servers are
when it
dead
comes
for
out.
weeks on end. No PlayStation Plus edition. Servers finally go back up. They start compensating with free DLC. No word on the PlayStation Plus edition. Like, I just want to know what went wrong with this game because they haven't publicly said. Something must have been wrong if the game took over a year delay and it was still broken. Like,
Obviously, somebody didn't do their job right.
like Evolution, I just don't see like what could have went that wrong. There must have been something fundamentally broken about the game that they had to completely scrap
I'd
and just
imagine.
redo everything. But this gets into what I was saying about game hype, and I think that game hype is atrocious nowadays, and people get so excited for games before they even know what the game's about, and it ends up ruining the game for them. And we were talking a little bit about Destiny last week, about how the hype for Destiny kind of killed it, because if Destiny wasn't overhyped, it would have been better off, I think, because they would have been like, alright, it's a good game, it's not great, but it's nothing like special. But all the hype and like all the names attached to it and everything, and the amount of just trailers, so many trailers came out for that game, and it's like, why do we need all that media? Why do we need all that hype?
I don't know if we talked about it last week, but Justin and I have talked about this before.
Oh, yeah.
But Watch Dogs comes up in this conversation a lot, and I like Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs
I
I
don't
think
think
is a
it's
good
that great
game.
of a
Justin
game.
has a different opinion, but that I will admit, although I am a very big fan of Watch Dogs,
Yeah,
that
the game was shown 2 years
very
in a row,
overhyped.
2012 and 2013 at E3. Won Best of the Show awards like each time. But the game didn't look much different. It was like the same demo basically. And then it came out in May last year.
And then it
And-
looked nothing. Like, it looked like a downgraded version of what they were showing at all the show floors and
Yeah,
everything.
and it was like the game wasn't as expansive
gen.
and
It
next
was not
gen,
next
and it wasn't
gen.
as impressive. Like technologically, like you couldn't do all the stuff that they promised you could do. Like anything is possible, basically.
Plus,
as they
apparently, it was
portrayed the
buggy
game.
as hell when it first
The
came
game was
out.
very buggy, and the funniest thing is on the PC version they actually found files that said E3 demo, and it's like, oh, don't touch this, it'll corrupt your game. But it was actually the graphics files they used at the E3 demo, and it's like these were in the game, but they said do not use them because apparently there was some frame rate issue with them, and like, but they had the accessibility of making the graphics better, and they
Well,
just
to be
basically
fair-
lied about it.
To be fair, the FPS was shitty no matter what. It didn't matter if you had the PAX,
Yeah,
the PAX, whatever the thing was,
Mm-hmm.
or on or not. It didn't matter.
yeah. And I feel like we've gotten to this point in gaming where trailers come out and it's like, oh, these games look awesome, but then more and more trailers come out before release and people get so hyped and people just start reading every little bit of information. Like, I need to know everything about this game before it even comes out. And I find that breaks the fundamental of just waiting for a game to come out and playing it and being excited because you already know everything about the game. And if it doesn't live up to what you expect the game to be, you're just going to be disappointed, and you're just going to start hating on the game.
Well, I just don't like the idea of that people get to know everything about what a game is about before having it like released. Like you see gameplay and everything, it's like there's no like
Surprise.
genuine like surprise and like enjoyment playing a game because you like want to have an idea of what kind of game you're playing before you play it. Because there's no like quality assurance anymore.
Yeah.
You could pick up a game and by all means it could be like this really shitty game that was like, it's only gonna have like maybe a 5-6 hour campaign and you're about to pay $60 for it and it's not even that good.
And I think this is something that's gone in the movie industry. Like, I know me and Danny have stopped really watching trailers for movies and games that we know we're gonna get, or at least we may watch the first trailer just to see like what it's going to be like.
Like a big example, we were talking about Avengers before.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to watch another trailer for Avengers because like we know we're going to see Avengers.
yeah,
We don't
I'm
wanna
not
see
watching-
The
anything
movie's
else
going
for
to be
Avengers.
out like
we
in
wanna
2
see
months.
no
Like,
trailers
it's
whatsoever.
not worth it because the one trailer they're going to show something. It's like, oh, that's a spoiler, and then you see it in the movie and you're like, oh, I knew it. That's a spoiler. Or they're not. It's not even going to be in the movie, and you're like, I wanted that scene in the movie. Why would they do that?
Just because there's so many movies that just they show.
I think my
They show,
favorite
like, all the
example
movies,
of
right?
showing too much was Sinister. And I wish I hadn't seen any trailers for that movie because I would have
Yeah,
loved it so
that's-
much
that's
more.
fair.
I mean, I love the movie, but I'd seen like half the movie in the trailers. And like I saw most of the jump scares in the trailers. They even showed the ending in the trailer. And it's...
Another good example. This is a more recent example. Is
Yeah.
the movie Unfriended. They show like all of that
I mean,
movie in the trailer.
that's not going to be a
If-
good movie, though.
if you guys don't know what the concept of Unfriended is, it's basically a crappy like slasher movie that's like set over Skype, and like they do like a really crappy choice of like they show like later in the movie when like people start dying, like, and they show like little by little they start like showing like 2 or only 3 Skype screens.
Yeah,
so it's, like,
you know
see
who's
who's
gonna
dying.
die.
Like,
It's weird.
like why are you gonna include that in the trailer? Like now there's no suspense. They even showed to the point where there's only 2 people on the Skype screen. I'm like, you guys are literally ruining your own movie.
What actually brought up this whole discussion was today there was a announcement that there was going to be a Metal Gear Solid 5 announcement Wednesday in the morning about the game. And it's like, when did we get to the point where people are excited about a teaser for an announcement of a game where at the announcement they're probably just going to show information about the game, which is going to lead to even more hype? Like, it's just so stupid that people fall for this
Metal Gear's
constant
a good game.
cycle. Yeah. But the thing is, it's the same point. It's like
going back to the trailer thing for 1 second.
Getting excited over an announcement.
One thing if you're getting
teaser.
hyped over a game that's gonna live up to the expectations. It's another thing to hype up a game that you know is clearly not gonna be able to live up to the expectations.
But we're also, our society is like, we're getting excited over teasers for a trailer for a movie.
Hey, look, if it works for them, by all means, they can be excited over it. It doesn't matter if you're excited for it or not.
Just going back to the trailer thing for a second, the one thing like the one movie that did like its trailer perfectly, even though I thought the movie was okay, was American Sniper. Did you guys see the trailer for American Sniper? It's just that one scene from the movie, and that's perfect. Like because they show the tone, the atmosphere, what's going on, and they don't give that much away. It was good. Like it's a very good, well done trailer.
They literally show the opening scene in the movie, and they just like left the cliffhanger. So it's like you go into it and it's like everything else that I'm seeing in this movie is brand new to me.
Like,
yeah, I assumed it would be
fresh. I know nothing else about this movie.
Like a scene from the middle or a scene from the end or something, like a very traumatic scene in the movie. But it was the movie literally starts off like that.
Right from the opening, sorry.
Which it was, I think that's a good idea because it's a hook and it's almost like a thesis, and it's just showing you like what you're gonna get into, and it's not too much or anything. Yeah,
I think more
movies
and games and all of the above.
Yeah,
etc., etc., etc.
Is there anything else we want to talk about? I know, that's what I was thinking.
Wow, we're already an hour.
Because we ended up having to start this over again.
And Matt's being very strict about. Oh, I don't want the.
Dude, I have to wake up at like 6 in the morning tomorrow.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, I got you.
At like the latest. But I mean, do we want to talk about anything else?
What games you guys
really
playing?
Nothing. I've been delaying the podcast.
Well, Justin, you said you've gotten rid of 10 games from your backlog.
Well, I've been playing a lot of Resogun lately, just because I've been very excited about Housemarque's future, especially since today they teased a bunch of announcements in the future with Alienation and the game they're working with Edward Jarvis. And this was on Colin and Greg Live from Colin, kind of funny. And Resogun is still arguably the best game on PS4. That's not The Last of Us Remastered, because that's technically still a PS3 game. But it's just so much fun to play, and it just gets better every time you play it. And it has a replayability that it's hard to find in games. I mean, the game came out launch day for the PS4, and it was free for 3 months for anyone who had PlayStation Plus. And so many people missed out on the game, and it's fantastic. It still holds up, and the game got DLC just a few weeks ago. Like, it's just fantastic. And I think Housemarque is probably the most underrated developer in the gaming industry, just because they've had so many just amazing games that I feel are underrated, from be it Dead Nation, Stardust, Outland, and now Resogun. And now they're working on Alienation, which is supposed to be coming out later this year, which is going to be actually featuring 4-player co-op for the first time in a Housemarque game, which is set to be really interesting.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
What about
Yeah,
Transistor? You
Transistor
were
was
crying
fun.
about
He
that.
sent
opening
out
this week.
many tweets talking about how amazing the game was.
Platinum Transistor.
Oh my god.
Oh, what I was going to say, completely forgot. That trailer discussion. A game I have totally been avoiding trailers and any information for, but I'm extremely excited for is Bloodborne. I am a fan of the Souls series. I played a little bit of Demon Souls, and I played about 87 hours of Dark Souls. And I'm excited for Bloodborne. I have the special edition pre-ordered off of Amazon, and I know like close to nothing about the game. I saw the reveal trailer, and I saw the commercial they released today about the game. And there's been so much information coming out about the game, but I don't want to know about it. The game will be out in 2 weeks.
True.
And I'm like, do I really care about all this information?
Yeah, it's better to go into a game having no idea.
Yeah, the game will be out in 3 weeks.
Like, it's one thing for movies, but for games, it's better to go in, like, blind. If you know it's going to be something you're going to be interested in. Like, in the next Mass Effect game, when it gets announced eventually, hopefully, then I'm just going to, like, at least I'm going to, like, know, okay, this is the day that it comes out. I'm going to, like, pre-order it, or I'll just download it on Steam, and then I'll just play it, and it'll be amazing. And I won't know anything about it going into it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be glorious.
Yeah. On the subject of Mass Effect, we can finish off with what our hopes are and predictions for E3, I guess.
E3? How far away is that?
I mean, E3 is going to be... It's 3 months away, but it's kind of crazy because time has been going by so quickly. It's like... It feels like yesterday it was like New Year's Day.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts. And it'll be here in 3 short months, and there's going to be a lot of hype for it and everything. But I just want to know what you guys are expecting to see at E3. What you... No,
Just
in
for
E3
E3 in general,
what
or
you
just
want to
Mass
see,
Effect?
what you hope to see.
I talked about this a little bit with you, Justin. I mean, it might be kind of expected at this point, but Fallout 4 announcement would be amazing.
Bethesda would not be having their own conference if they didn't have a Fallout game to show. Because Elder Scrolls... Yeah, Elder Scrolls
having
is
a full
nowhere near
conference.
done in terms of Elder Scrolls 6.
Any chance at
What I was...
next
I think
gen
my predictions for the...
Oblivion, or
That
sorry,
would be
not
so
Oblivion,
much work. I don't
Bethesda-
think it would be worth it.
For
though.
Bethesda, I think that if at their conference, they're going to obviously show off Fallout. They're going to show off Dishonored 2. They're going to show off Doom 4.
Oh yeah, Dishonored and
Because
Doom.
Dishonored 2 got leaked, I think, early last year, but nothing ever came out about
Didn't
it.
they say that Doom 4 was going to be Oculus like Rift integrated?
I'm not sure about the Oculus thing, but Doom 4 got announced from the Wolfenstein pre-press release, and that was like, if you get the game, you'll get a beta code, and the game's been silent since, so they're obviously going to show it.
I feel like they're
And-
going to be releasing like around 5 games. I feel like that would justify them having their own conference.
Well, I think the best idea, Danny was saying like a remaster, and I don't think that'd be practical for putting the resources in, but I could see them doing a port of a PC version of either an Elder Scrolls or a Fallout game, or possibly a collection of like New Vegas and 3 or Oblivion and Skyrim, just because it wouldn't be that many resources, because you're literally taking the PC version and just porting it over to the consoles.
I'd be so hyped if they were like starting a whole new gaming series.
If they, like a new IP.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of their IPs like died. Like I know, like Brink and Wet and like Prey. Those games are dead.
Well, I mean, they can just make up
I mean,
a new one.
Prey 2 may actually
Rest in
resurface,
peace,
but
Prey
it's
2.
not a thing now.
I wouldn't.
I'd
think so. It's
like
been
to
way
see
too
it.
long. The
I
first
mean-
Prey was almost
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Other than that, I don't really think Bethesda's going to be... They may show off another IP. They may tease something, but other than that, I don't see much. I think we're going to see a lot of Rise of the Tomb Raider from Microsoft, obviously.
Mass Effect.
Yeah.
I need Mass Effect.
I think... Yeah, Mass Effect.
They have to at least
EA's
release
conference.
something.
EA's conference is going to be fantastic because we're going to see a full reveal for Battlefront, which is going to be, the hype for that's crazy, and we're going to see the next Mass Effect, obviously.
You know what's kind of sad?
What?
Also, what is
the
that new
Mass
IP
Effect game
from
BioWare?
what's it called?
I don't actually know because
Anything
everyone
from BioWare.
thought they were
Where's the other
talking
new
about
IP
Mass
they
Effect
showed?
last year.
They showed off of
They showed both.
They
It
showed
was
off
like-
at E3.
They showed that off
they
at
talked about art
VGX?
design for Mass Effect, but they were talking
Oh,
about a
E3,
new
E3.
IP they were working on. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, new Mass Effect!" And me and Matt are like, "They're talking about a new IP right now. They're not
Yeah.
talking about Mass Effect."
Like,
They
they
showed
had Mass
concept
Effect-
art for
with
the
Mass
new
Effect,
IP.
all right, but it wasn't really talking about, like, they weren't really talking about Mass Effect. They were like, yeah, that's in development and whatnot, but there's this whole other idea that we're trying to expand upon, and I'm not sure if they're trying to integrate that into Mass Effect or it's going to be this
It
whole
sounded
other
very
game by
ambitious,
itself.
and I don't know if they'd be the next Mass Effect because I've heard rumors that the next Mass Effect is supposed to be like the longest game in the series. It's supposed to be more, I mean, obviously more expansive and the most ambitious project in the series.
They'd have to do a really good job, though.
I trust BioWare. I think that
They make their games good.
people
except
got
for the
so
ending at
fussy
3.
about Mass Effect 3, but I didn't find anything wrong with it. I didn't think that it deserved all that ridicule. The ending was good.
That's
I
stuff
feel
with
like it's the
ending.
same thing
Yeah.
about The
I thought
Walking
it
Dead.
was fine.
Like,
I didn't-
if you
I
finish The
didn't
Walking
mind
Dead
it.
game, it's like a game like that with so many choices. You can't have that many endings because otherwise you're not gonna. You set yourself up terribly for a sequel because then you have to follow everyone's endings, or you just lead this point where everyone's like, "Oh, I didn't care about the game ending because there's so many." And it's like, which one's the actual ending? Whereas this, it's like there's 2 or 3 endings as they patch one in through free DLC, and it's like you are picking an ending to your story that's going to cement history in this universe, and it's like this is what happened.
True. Danny, do you have anything that you really wanted to see at E3?
I already said just the Fallout 4 announcement.
I think
That's
for me-
that's the big one I'm going on. And it's a big
Oh,
long
yeah.
shot, but
That's
it's
not
not
gonna
Bioshock
happen.
related.
If 2K likes shit. Yeah,
No,
2K
it
is
could
worth
because the IP is now in 2K's hands.
I mean,
And they
I
can
don't-
do it. 2K can do whatever they want. with
I
it,
don't see
because
They've
Bioshock
already
made it
charged
recently.
Bioshock 2, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
to be
them,
fair,
2K
it
Australia
wasn't that bad of a
and
game.
Bioshock 2 is not a
Very-
bad game.
It was
I
just, it was
like
just
Bioshock.
very.
No, it's very
Be
similar
quiet.
to the
No.
first game,
very
but
similar
it's
to
not
the
a bad
It just
game.
didn't have
Stop.
a good story to paired up with it.
I think
Like,
it's a
nobody really
different
cared.
story. I don't think it's a bad story. It's just a very different type of game, and I think it's like you
The
basically
first game was supposed to be a mindfuck.
the first game where it's like
backstory to
the first Bioshock. It's more like this is like a game about exploration, finding out who you are, finding out about Rapture, finding out about just this entire story arc, and finding it's Andrew Ryan and just Frank Fontaine and just the sheer thrill and tension and anxiety you feel in the fights, and just the first time seeing Big Daddy, and just it felt like a game that was ambitious and just new, and it was something incredible, and that the game was just so original, and I think
It still
redefined
holds
the
up.
genre.
That's what's really
Yeah.
impressive is that for an Xbox 360 game, it holds up pretty well because of its art style.
Yeah, and the second game, well, it's very similar in terms of combat. I think the story is more along the lines of like a relationship between either like a father and a daughter, or
What?
yeah, a daughter. And it's I honestly I thought it was fantastic because the first game's story I found it almost confusing. I mean the game itself is fantastic, but the story kind of I felt wasn't direct enough. The story
like
wasn't
the
direct
DLC
enough
more.
for
Let's put it that way.
one. I thought, but I mean the game itself is amazing. But I feel like the story in 2 was easier to connect with, and it hit me, I think, the way that the first one's story hit most people, just because I was able to connect with it. And I think that's why I like the second one a lot more. I mean, the second one is regarded as a good game. It's just not regarded as, like, the epicness that was Bioshock.
I like Minerva's Den, the DLC, more than that game. Minerva's Den is so good.
I mean, I don't
The
see
game- to
2K
me, it's
working on the
just so
Bioshock IP for a while, at least for a couple of years, just because it's so recent, and 2K has a lot of stuff on their plate right now, especially with Gearbox, and I mean they are working on Mafia 3. That's confirmed. That's
you know what
probably
makes me
that's
sad?
probably going to get announced this year.
You know what
Mafia
makes me
3.
sad? Nothing involving Dead Space is going to be announced.
Well, Matt,
Yes.
well, Matt, there is going to
busy with,
so
Visceral
Visceral did announce this
Battleline?
week that
Hardline.
Battlefield Hardline is going to feature many Dead Space Easter eggs, including actual necromorphs in the campaign, which is kind of weird.
Well, I mean, like the thing is, Dead Space 3 kind of ended on like that's kind of it for as a
I mean,
story. So they would. Pretty
I
much
love
start
Dead
fresh.
Space. Dead Space is one of my favorite
Dead Space
franchises,
4 if
and
they wanted to do that. Dead Space 1's amazing.
I know. I
Dead
think
Space 2 is
all
also
3 of them
very
are
good. Dead
great
Space
games,
3 is
and I
very-
think that they're all
yeah.
great in their different regards. I think 1 is great as a survival horror game, 2 is great as an action adventure game, and then
Yeah.
3 is more of a just shoot 'em up fun game.
I beat
Like,
both 1 and 2,
I
but
think
I never played 3.
Yeah.
So I don't
Three
really have any
is
experience.
3 is one of the funnest games you will ever
Three's
play.
good.
Like
Three's-
the
three's
gameplay is
alright.
phenomenal, but the story isn't
But
that
the story's
good
just
compared
like
to the
the
first
story's
two.
just so like.
And I think
like,
it's just
there.
because
It's
that
like, it's not as good.
the arc they set up wasn't as compelling because they wanted to. They didn't end it on a good note.
The planet they
And
go
the whole
to, Tal Volantis,
there's
is
this
really
whole
cool, though. I'll give
alien
them that.
storyline that they go into that's very cool.
Like it
It's
really
a
nails like the whole
very
like,
pretty game, and I think that the
atmosphere and tone.
worlds
It
and
kind of
everything
reminded
in
me
the
of
game are very well done. And yeah, it very much
It
did.
kind of reminded me
Yeah,
of the
we-
thing.
But
Have you ever
the
seen
game
Thing?
itself actually has DLC, which is the actual real ending to the game, which I felt was really weird because it's EA,
You
obviously.
shouldn't make the ending to the game DLC.
No, the game ends, and you think
Destiny.
spoilers
Fuck off.
for Dead Space 3.
No! Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's
At the end of the game, you're basically
been out for 2
left dead
years.
in space, and the game ends, and you're like, okay, whatever. But
Yep,
then they're
pretty
like, oh, the DLC is right after this.
But then the
Immediately
DLC
after
is like,
this,
wait a
right
minute,
there.
he's still
And then the DLC
alive.
starts, and you're like, you wake up on the planet, and you're like, hey, Carver, we're still alive? Yeah, Isaac, we're still alive.
Somehow you survive like
Yeah,
a giant
so somehow there's
explosion that
life.
should have
And
killed
I think
you.
that they,
Yet that's
the
the very
reason they were
slim
alive is
possibility you're
'cause
still alive.
the aliens that are there wanted them to actually stay alive because they were needed to like save Earth in like the future games, because they actually go back to Earth after at the end when the DLC they take a ship back to Earth, and Earth is being like literally eaten by necromorphs.
Wow. They just
Yeah.
leave it like that.
Yeah, and the game ends, so it's like, oh, yep, this is.
Dead Space 4 plot right
It's
there.
just more plot.
Dead Space
that
4
doesn't
plot.
need to happen.
I mean, I think Dead
Go
Space
pitch the
4 could be
idea-
really
go
cool
pitch
because they
the
could
idea
do
to
like a whole
EA.
arc based off of that, and it would just be like Isaac and Carver.
Well, would they do the thing where they just make it like another Dead Space franchise and not like start like Dead Space 4, where it's like it's just gonna keep dragging on?
So many developers have been dropping the numbers to the titles, which I think is a good thing.
It's gonna confuse the shit out of people.
Yeah, but they
in the
did.
future.
They did it with Infamous. They did it with Killzone. I mean, Uncharted 4. They're doing it because I think Uncharted 4 is going to be the last iteration of the series. But like, a lot of people just. It's easier for a lot of people to get into a game series if you see just a subtitle rather than like Street Fighter 5. If it was just Street Fighter something, then it would be easier to get into. You know.
True.
Because if you, even with Mortal Kombat, if you never played anything in the series, you're like, oh, do I need to start out in one?
No. Well, to be fair, fighting games you really don't start out.
Well, Mortal Kombat 9 was almost like a remaster of the first game. If you like, the story itself is actually the first 3 games together, so it wasn't as hard to get into.
Well, they just did a great job with that game, so you can't even deny it.
Yeah, but EA, Dead Space. Yeah, I'd like to see a new Dead Space game. I just don't think there's going to be another one for a while. Same thing with BioShock. I just think the franchises are too
I
new.
wonder what Ubisoft is going to do.
Ubisoft's gonna show-
Creed.
Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, The Division,
another
and
Assassin's
Rainbow
Creed.
Six are both supposed to be out this year. Probably going to show another Just Dance game. I guarantee they're going to show a new IP that's going to wow everyone again, like they do
Gonna
every
wow
year.
them, just like Watch Dogs.
Yeah, Watch Dogs and The Division, 2 years in a row, wowed people at E3, and they're going to show something else again this year. That's
I mean,
going
the
to do the
games
same
didn't-
thing.
Watch Dogs didn't turn out so great for the game, but I mean, and Division, I was hopeful, but now
I'd like to see more indies from the Ubisoft team, like Child of the Light and Valiant Hearts, because those games are phenomenal. And just the fact that Ubisoft like funds them and allowed those games to be actually made is really cool. Nah, it's too. It's way too early.
Far
I mean,
Cry related, or
I
it's too early?
I think they're gonna have one more piece of DLC, maybe. But other than that,
You think anything at the
nah,
maybe something
the
at VGX
VGX
this
aren't
year?
a thing. It's the VGAs,
Oh.
Video Game Awards.
Might be.
Actually, no, it isn't. It's the Game Awards. TGAs.
Oh, both of you were wrong.
Yeah, it's the Game Awards, and it's Jeff Keighley's thing. Speaking of Jeff Keighley, he's gonna be at PAX.
Who else is going to be at PAX? We should
A lot of
probably wrap
people.
this up in like another 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Last thing about E3, Sony. I have the most hopes for Sony's conference, just because
course.
Sony for the last 2 years has been phenomenal at E3. I
I
mean,
mean, you are a Sony fan.
Matt, we watched the did you watch the Sony conference last year?
For
know-
and what E3?
Yeah, I know Danny
That's
did.
when don't you remember? Wasn't that where you were like?
Oh, you came in late, right?
I think so.
Yeah, with that was with the Dead Island 2 thing. You watched that with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watched late. You came in late. I remember that. But it was really good. I mean, 2013 was like crazy because of the whole Microsoft going against everything, and then Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15 and the no DRM pricing range, everything, how they just screwed
that was
Microsoft.
crazy.
That was incredible, and just being able to watch that live was like something I think I will never like
that was
be
like,
seen again.
It
was.
And then PlayStation.
I
PlayStation
was
dropped
like,
the
me
th-
and Matt
Sony
were
dropped the
watching
thing where
this,
it's like
and we were like,
PlayStation will
this
be
is
$3.99.
crazy.
And they could have just
Me
dropped
and
it
Matt were
right
like
when
freaking me out. We're like,
$3.99,
this is
and
crazy,
they
and
were
they were
like
just
$100
trashing
cheaper. It was
Microsoft.
like-
And we're like, okay, if they announce a release date or a price, and it's lower than Microsoft, they won this. And then they said $3.99. We're like, oh my god, they did it! Holy
They
shit!
did it.
Oh my god! And we're like,
They won.
it was like crazy because everyone like fucking was like cheering and screaming in the audience, and it's like you watch videos of that press conference when
It's super hyped.
Andrew House is on stage talking about like we're not doing anything Microsoft's doing. It's crazy what you hear in that audience.
It's
And
pretty
last
hyped.
year's was more in line about actual gaming. Microsoft itself and Sony both were like just games.
Yeah, didn't they like switch their position? No, I heard like Sony like did a lot of the peripheral stuff, and Microsoft was all about games or something.
Last year?
Yeah.
No, the Sony was like 95% about games, but they had one section where they talked about the Powers TV show, which is premiering next week, actually on March 10th, and that's gonna be by Brian Michael Bendis, who's one of my favorite comic book writers. And the show I've heard good things about. It's gonna be free if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, and it's I think 10 or 13 episodes. It's gonna be a concurrent series. It's gonna be released all at once, and it's gonna be available on PlayStation 4, maybe PS3. I'm not sure. But that's the one part where it was like, because they had so many games, and then they took a little time to like slow down, like 20 minutes, and they like put the slot in where they talked about like kind of what they wanted to do in the future with television, and they wanted to make more original programming like that was similar to Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And it slowed the thing down, which I think it shouldn't have really been there, or it could have been inserted in a different spot, but I think that's the only reason people got mad. But the conference last year was really good, and I'm extremely excited this year, because we know that like every developer for Sony that they own is working on a PS4 title, but we barely know any of them. We don't know what Guerrilla's working on. They're supposed to be working on an open world RPG that's been written by the Battlestar Galactica writer and headed by the Fallout New Vegas director. So that's supposed to be amazing. Apparently dinosaurs and space age technology from leaked concept art. Media Molecule, we have no idea what they're working on. Should be pretty cool. We're gonna see those two games this year, guarantee it.
All right.
David Cage with the
I like the way you look,
Heavy Rain
I
team.
guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
He's probably gonna be showing off his
You
new
related
game
to
this
Nick
year.
Cage?
No,
If-
David
if
Cage
he
is not
is-
David
You
Cage.
related to Nick Cage?
We're probably
No
gonna
one
see a
of
lot
them.
of new third-party stuff, just new IPs for the future. But
Hope for the future of
I'm
gaming.
saying this right now. We will see The Last Guardian this year.
I hope we do.
We will see it this year. I'm would say more likely E3 than Gamescom, but maybe Gamescom just because they do show a lot of guest stuff at Gamescom.
I feel like E3 would be the better place, but I mean, I want it to happen.
Yeah, and just speaking as E3 as a whole, I think this year we're gonna see a lot more hands-on stuff like we did last year with Destiny Alpha coming out the day after or a few days after E3, and the Battlefield Hardline beta being released during E3 for everyone, like to the public. That was awesome.
Yes.
I think we're gonna see a lot more stuff like that, just that you can play in the moment. Like when PT got released, it was released at the moment, and everyone went and played it, and then nobody knew what it was, and it was like, this is incredible. We're playing a teaser for a game that instead of seeing like played on stage, we're playing it ourselves.
Yeah.
I think
that's pretty cool.
that's gonna be like one of the main points this year at E3, just you as the consumer being able to access the content now.
Well, hopefully they follow that trend.
Yeah, but
All right.
overall, I'm really excited for E3 this year.
All right. Yeah.
I'd like to wrap up E3 with one final statement.
Oh
Yo.
yes.
Please be excited.
I'm
for
saying
E3.
fuck Square Enix because they said that, and I was like, I can't be excited for E3. What the hell is wrong with you? I
If it's
don't
not
trust
Final,
you.
if
And
it's
then
not Final
no,
Fantasy
I
VII,
told
Ryu.
Matt. I was talking to Matt in the beginning of the 2013 conference. I'm like, I hate Square. They're showing something tonight, but I hate them. And I'm like, I don't care. Like they fucked they fucked with us at the freaking release conference, and then
Oh, somebody dropped something.
I was like, oh, they're gonna show Kingdom Hearts Remix Collection, and then it's like the Versus 13 director came out, and I started freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, Kingdom Hearts 3 is in development. Oh my god, and then like, yeah, I start.
also
Kingdom
on,
Hearts 3
also
thing, I
on
just
Xbox
like
One.
started crying.
What?
Gross.
I don't know.
Unnatural.
Square Enix, I trust you again. Do good things.
Hopefully. All right. So,
So
the next time that we
E3.
come back with the podcast will be, hopefully this episode will be up by Wednesday.
Yeah, I think Wednesday is the day we're going to target for releasing it. I mean, we might be able to get the audio up Tuesday, like late Tuesday, early Wednesday.
Okay, so yeah,
on
our SoundCloud link.
On SoundCloud, right?
Go to our Twitter page. At Amigops Podcast.
At
It's like
Amigops
Amigos,
Podcast.
but with a P.
Amigops Podcast, and you'll find our SoundCloud and our YouTube.
The reference.
Our
Did
YouTube
you get it?
is 3 Amigops Podcast, and the video will be uploaded by Wednesday.
We're working
It's
on
probably going to be a
updating
little
on
while
iTunes
just
too,
because we
so
need to work
stay
out
tuned.
some specifics in
We need
RSS.
some high quality
iTunes has like some
content
regulations and
before
stuff.
we can submit it.
I know iTunes has like regulations and stuff.
We're gonna
to get
record
put
like 10
on,
episodes,
so,
and hopefully that'll be good enough.
Yeah, and yet again, I'm Justin's iPod 3. Matt is Matty Fredge.
We need a good track.
MATTYFREG. That is my Twitter handle.
And Danny is Tessalophagus.
I'll put later. I'll put all
I
the
can do that.
bio of the Amigops podcast.
Yeah. And we do have an email at
I'll just throw 'em in there.
3amigopspodcast@gmail.com where you could send us feedback,
Send us
Let
feedback.
us
Let us
know
know. Let us know what you
questions.
think of our podcast.
viewer questions.
Oh yeah. If we get sent questions,
Are we
I
horrible?
totally
Are we
answer them.
amazing?
Yeah.
Are
we
we
will
your,
answer them, and we will put them on a stick.
Are we your
Do
God?
you
Or
want
so.
to touch our
Are you
faces
just a
like
mere
Joe
mortal?
Biden?
Walk against.
Oh God, please no.
Do you want
Do you
to
want
pretend
do
we're
you wanna
anime
kiss us
girls
like Joe
and
Biden?
touch us like
Do you-
Joe Biden?
Do you want to touch our face like John Travolta?
All right, so the next time that you guys are gonna hear from us, it's gonna be Monday after
Yeah,
PAX.
we're gonna
so
be recording.
What do you think would happen? What do you think would happen if John Travolta and Joe
Oh,
Biden?
there'd be so
were
much
in a room
wrinkled
together?
skin
Like, how much
touching each
face-
other.
Nightmares. Okay, so we're
Oh,
gonna
God,
be
I don't wanna think about
recording
that.
our next
So many
episode
hair
on Monday
pieces.
night, after PAX. So it's gonna be a lot of coverage about PAX, and that's gonna be
PAX
what we're gonna be
East.
talking about.
It's gonna
It's
be
gonna
like
be
a.
a PAX
It's probably gonna be a
night, or
generally
that
long
night.
podcast.
Because we're gonna be talking about. There's
It's
gonna be
probably gonna-
news
it's
coming
probably
out
gonna-
at PAX.
we're
I
probably
heard
only
there's
gonna be talking
Witcher
about PAX,
information
right.
actually coming out this weekend, so we'll talk about that.
Yep.
As well as all the PAX coverage, and we'll
Think
just
we
talk
might hit
about
2
some
hours in that
interesting
podcast?
stories and
I feel
our
it.
fun times we had. So I hope you guys had a good time, and we will see you next week.
Yo, see ya, bitch.
Laters.